Cuba, a place few Americans have been to, but yet is home to the world's most friendly and open people. Why? The country is one of the few places in the world untouched by tourism. It's still raw. Most of that is due to the US embargo, and fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, all of that is changing. I wanted to take a trip to Cuba, the real Cuba, before everything changed, before the communist regime was out of power, before Castro was gone, and everything was different. I decided to take my grandfather. He grew up in Cuba on the naval base in Guantanamo, and he hasn't been back there since. He was the perfect person to take along for the journey, and his fluency in Spanish couldn't hurt.
Muy lejos. ¿Qué playa? This way.
Well, almost fluent. A Soviet-made taxi brought us to central Havana, where we were to stay for 3 nights. We could have stayed in a 4-star hotel, but where's the fun in that? Instead, we stayed in a casa particular, basically a Cuban bed and breakfast. Way cooler. One thing you have to understand about Cuba is that when the US placed the embargo on them in 1960, everything came to a halt. It would be like if China suddenly stopped trading with us. So now, when you travel back there, all the cars are from 1950, all the buildings, the paint has been worn away because it hasn't been repainted since the 1950s. They can still trade with Europe, but the US, its main economic partner, is simply cut off. It's like you're going back in time. 3,000-year-old technology right here. The Cuban people have been called the most friendly people in the world, and after visiting Cuba, I can tell you firsthand that this is completely true. On the second day that we were in Havana, we met a guy named Agosto on the street. He asked if we spoke any English, and we said yes, and he immediately invited us over to his home for dinner. It was incredible to be able to experience Cuban culture and life in a real Cuban's home. No. About the millionth time we've been asked for a taxi. I mean, do we look like tourists, or? After 3 nights in Havana, we decided to explore the western portion of the island, in the region known as Pinar del Rio. Fidel Castro once called it the most beautiful place in all of Cuba. We had to check it out. Day 5 or 6? I don't even know what day it is. Today, we're in Cuba. Rented bikes, decided to explore a town known as Vinales. Is that how you pronounce it? Vinales? No hay dinero, no hay amigo, linda Guajira mi son te llama. Hola. I nailed it. Spanish right there. When in doubt, always take the road less traveled. Let's try it. I mean, why not? our first Cuban rainstorm. In a race with a horse and cart. Two guys.
Siembra de tabaco, secadero y fabrique de roles de cigarrillo.
Oh, you roll it? Yeah.
Sí, campesino.
I discovered a country that was so unlike anywhere I'd been. It was real. There was a level of authenticity that you can't get anywhere else. In short, it was one of the more awesome things I've done.